Write it down.
So, welcome back, folks, to Imperial Mandate. It is currently the 14th of Elso. It is noon. As you are 4 days into the 5-day wait before you are able to resurrect Ellison. It is noon after the meeting between Alar, Leah, Verno, Searson, and Aldwin, as two of you had left Alar's home soon after the meeting. One of you running out because a knight with no shirt tried to hug you.
Hey, the shirt was bloodied.
There's too much hair on that man.
He's an elf. If he can't grow facial, I don't think he can grow body hair, can he?
You never know. He's a fucking mountain man.
He's a wood elf, but still. I don't think wood elves can grow any bodily hair. Probably if they can't grow facial hair, they can go like normal hair. But
dude, if anyone was going to grow body hair, it'd be wood elf.
Oh my goodness. But yeah.
At least I'm not playing a dwarf.
But yes, as I said, it is Sado, the 14th of Elso, in the year 500 SF. It is noon, and it is still snowing outside, as it has been snowing for 4 days thus far.
I'm pretty sure we ended our last session.
We did, but I'm going backwards. So I remember that Searson was going to go and bring the information that she had written down to Kaladin.
You know, that's going to the bakery for a breakery.
It seems like Tate and Whitney are not currently manning the bakery as you walk in.
Oh, they're not?
They're not manning the bakery because
they're not here. Fine, I'll go to Kaladin's place.
You're on mute, by the way.
Fine.
You're on mute, by the way.
Give me the information.
He heard it.
All right, you head over to Kaladin's place.
I'm gonna knock on the door.
Come in.
Yeah, I take it you are the lovely Kaladin.
You are correct in that I'm lovely. Do continue.
Oh, do you continue? That's a very eccentric tone for that. You remember our conversation at the bakery?
Yes, I do. Why do you ask?
Oh, I asked to test your memory. Anything you remembered from that conversation?
Alright, now I actually have to remember which one it was. Hey, Keith, oral history.
Oh my god, roll history. You can use Foundry for this, by the way.
Wait, how long ago was the bakery conversation?
That was before we went for the shepherds.
Yeah. This is back several days ago.
This was after we came from the guild, before we came for that.
Yeah.
So this is after all the battles, right?
No.
This is when you guys were level 3.
Yeah, this
is when you guys came back from the Goblin Town.
Yeah, from Unegula.
Yeah.
Oh, is this when we were conversing for the first time?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yep.
All right then.
That was a tough one.
Continue.
Oh, you do? Then do tell me. What did we talk about?
Well, you asked about what I did from time to time, which I explained, or, well, I will just leave it at that. And, yes, you asked me about myself, and I told you what I felt like telling.
Any Searson music? No Go Fish?
Oh,
We talked about the greatest thing of all. Greatest information broker there is. I know.
Well, maybe this side or at least maybe in this region, perhaps. I'm aspiring for greater heights, of course, as anyone would be in these trying times.
Greater heights.
But yes.
Well, she has this stack of papers in her hand, neatly folded into a file. Then I believe this might be for you. But don't grab it just yet. What would you give me in return for it?
Well, that depends on what the information is.
I have had a very important meeting discussing the details and secrets of the 3 most powerful people in this town.
Calvin, his heart skips a beat when he hears secrets. He's like, oh, secrets. All right.
Oh, secrets!
Yes.
This is your future spy master, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't worry, he'll hammer that habit out sooner or later. Alright, so secrets concerning 3 of the most powerful people that we know of. Well, I'd say at least maybe a favor I could owe you.
Favor? What would that favor be?
Or maybe some other information. Well,
entice me.
What would you ask of me?
You are the information broker. You should know enough information about me to make a proper deal. If you don't, well, that wasn't a great job you're doing, aren't it?
Alright then. What? Alright. Hey Keith. Can I roll investigation on information that I've gathered on our lovely little Searson?
Oh my goodness. Roll investigation.
No, I want to, stuff that I might not have figured out, being, next door or anything like that.
I know. Roll investigation.
Alright. Thank you for that, what's 21?
21. Unfortunately, Searson's a hard one to get a lot of information on because she's not from around the area. And you're...
That I know.
You know that she's Of course you know that she's a Tickriel, hails all the way from Tickriel Isle. You could guess that she comes from either the country of Tilnd or the land of Eland. Judging by the way she dresses, you're gonna guess Eland. Judging by what you know about the 2 Tickriel countries that are vying for control of the island. You know she's nobility because of the fair amount of prices she had to pay in order to make her way eastward. And you know that she made quite a stir in the local guilds due to her very logical nature as she has been the source of many shutdowns for guild businesses that didn't fit her rigid standards.
I see. All right.
You get the feeling, for the most part, you get the feeling that she is a noble, so maybe you could play on something there. After all, there are few nobility in this town, only Aldwin and her.
All right. Well, from what I know of you, Searson, from what I know of your background or of your status, you'd perhaps like to maybe gain a foothold in this area and establish, say, a house?
A house? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not talking just like just a cottage on the hill, but more of a noble house, perhaps.
You're going to promise me a whole house for this information.
Well, I could promise you assistance, leverage on other local nobles, wherever they might... Well, yeah, the local nobles. And assist you in establishing some influence on them. Would that satisfy you?
I say the house is a very satisfying deal. If you can hold up to that promise, of course.
I have my ways.
We'll see about that. Alright, I'm going to hand him the file information. I want you to be my new information broker. Keep tabs on these people. If any of them tend to leak secrets or break any of the deals that were made in accordance with our meeting, and these are the audits of that meeting, of course, I need you to ensure they don't do that again.
Alright. Any limitations on making sure they don't do it again?
It gets cold in the room as soon as you say, make sure they don't do it again.
Hi, Nerul!
bone-chilling cold.
Always listening. Ah, what a coincidence. Yes.
No limitations. I think you're smart enough to deal with it yourself. You have your network after all. Spies are more than just information brokers.
We'll see whatever it comes down to. But, alright. I'll keep tabs on those mentioned in this list, and we'll see what comes of it.
I'll be eager to see that house and noble information you've promised.
All in due time.
Until then, anything else you'd like me to help you attain?
Well, since you're new to the area, you might not know much considering about the local, networks. But I guess maybe keep an eye out on whatever may be interesting, to say the least.
Very well. I hope to see the best in your information enforcement and your future endeavors.
Likewise.
Also...
And... No? You go ahead.
And one last thing. What is with the chill in the room?
Hey Keith, would I know what or who is causing this, or should I roll like an insight or something?
You know, the only time this chill has happened has been when the Dark Brothers appeared, and you know for a fact that he doesn't show up during the day.
I also know of another time when we felt the Dark Brothers' influence, but it wasn't. It was instead actually future Nerul. And I think that also probably applies to present Nerul.
Well, you don't know that for sure in this case.
Well,
future and current Nerul are quite an enigma and different.
Well, yes, true. Well, if he doesn't have that ability now, he will more than likely, possibly, get it in the future. All right. And I'm guessing, didn't Searson also, feel this when, older Nerul,
no, Ragus
assisted us?
Ragus was there, not Searson.
Alright, okay, alright. Alright. Well, I think that I don't think we're the only ones who are present in this little cabin.
Oh, well, if they would like to come out, that'd be real nice.
Yes, I highly doubt you're the Dark Brother. If I had to make a guess,
we'll persuade you.
You are Alright. Something sweet.
You're trying to persuade him to come out, so.
Yes. Alright. Okay, let's do this. Expertise, help me out here. Alright. how does a... That was my math. That's what's our proficiency at level?
You're at plus 10 for persuasion.
Alright, sweet. That's a 23.
There's silence for a long while as you wait, and then current Nerul kind of just walks into the room through the doorway. Actually, his hood's up, but you can make out the lower half of his face, particularly the jawline, before he looks over at you guys.
Cool. Care to sit down? Enjoy some fine mixed brew.
I am well. I don't need it, he says before his hands are in his pocket as he turns on a heel to look at the two of you.
Any inquiries?
None. Just none. Just making sure certain things are kept in order.
And
Yes.
are they?
Well, if you remember exactly, I said I'd protect my master no matter what. That included if this.
Yes, I remember very well.
Yes. Just a reminder, just in case any of you get any ideas.
I don't think your master's one to break you. I mean, he could have broken the rule any time with those crystals.
He's a good person. I'm not.
I've deduced that he is a good person. And, well, Nerul, hopefully we'll get to know each other better under better circumstances, perhaps.
Once your sister returns, potentially, says before as he looks
Yes.
away. Speaking of which, I have a question for the two of you. Well, particularly for you, Kaladin.
Go on.
The blade Merrick used, was it red? When it swung, when it swung through the air, did it leave behind a paint-like red glare in the air every time he swung it?
His last blade, yes. His other two just were more like enhanced blades that broke over time, but this one was, well, it had a... Yes, it is as you described.
He nods slowly.
Yes. Despicable blade, to say the least.
It wasn't meant to be used in that capacity.
Well, that doesn't change about what happened. So you know what it is?
In a way, yes. It's mine.
Huh.
Not mine.
So-
Not mine yet.
Future you has it, maybe.
No. Because if that Lupin has it, that only leaves one possibility.
So you're okay. So I can come up with a couple possibilities in my head. So
List
first
them out.
one. All right. So future you potentially gave it to this Lupin.
That's the one I'm aiming for.
All right then. Well,
What about the rest?
well, that one's the most likely one. Another one is, well, unlikely, but that Lupin just happened to, find it through one way or another, but that's unlikely. The first one is the highest probability.
And here I thought you'd say the third. I thought you'd say the next one was going to be that he took it from my future self. Though we both know that's not the case.
I highly doubt Amir Lupin, whether he is the second best swordsman in his mutt country, can take a blade from future you, who I assume is probably more has had more experience than your current self.
Nerul kind of pulls his hands out of his pockets after he hears the word mutt country, but he doesn't say anything as he nods along.
Well, I don't mean... Okay.
No. That's all you get. He just nods along. He doesn't seem to be sure.
I know.
And then he says, well, you're correct in that regard. that he would have had to give it away, because the second option, and then he sticks his hand through a shadow, and he reaches in deep up to his shoulder, and he pulls back out, and you see the exact same weapon sitting in his hand before he kind of like sits it on the ground like a cane.
Well, that is fancy.
To be precise, it's meant to. To be precise, it's known as the Mortal Blade. It was made for one purpose, and one purpose in particular. He then kind of just taps it on the ground, throws it up in the air, and catches it, to kill any immortal that was deemed to have lived too long.
Lived too long?
Yes. For example, a mage who uses wish to extend their lifespan to unnatural degrees. An undead and a lich whose phylactery couldn't be found, or even if need be, or even potentially to kill a god. Though that one's gone untested since it was made by something far greater.
I'm guessing one of the brothers.
I have no idea. All I know is that the Shadowbringer has locked this thing deep between the shadow corridors, and I am the only one who can wield it without dying. Well, me and I suppose one other person.
And who is that other person?
The Lupin. If I had to hazard a guess, judging by the echoes of the fight that you all left behind during your encounter, he doesn't. I'd say that he's been spending the souls of Lupin connected to him in order to stay alive as he wields it, which he then puts it back on the ground, would explain his use of it.
So he's willing to sacrifice the souls of his kin.
More likely they're willing, since they're in his head now. There's no difference between him and them until they're gone.
Well, once he's put 6 feet under, then maybe this thing can be put to rest.
Yes. But who's going to be the one that puts him 6 feet under? He says he looks up at you.
Well,
because from what I remember, that engagement didn't go well last time.
Well, there's nothing wrong with getting more experience and getting better at the craft. But then again, that probably also means that unless he's already reached his peak. But everyone is fallible, one way or another.
And what will you do if he doesn't die, if he happens to escape and disappear?
Well, that is what a network is for. But
a network all the way to the land of a horde, to the far and icy north. You see,
what would you do?
You notice that he's prodding. You notice that he's prodding you at this point. It's kind of like tapping as he's tapping the pommel.
Well, what would you do? He has a blade that, well, no one except for yourself should be wielding. And he is running rampant with it.
Well, the only person he's killed so far has been Aldwin and Ellison, which that's too many for my liking. But continuing onward.
Same.
Continuing onward. Well, if we do meet all of them on the battlefield tomorrow, on the battlefield one day, I expect I know the ways the engagement will go.
Would you care to elaborate, or is it a secret to keep for yourself?
Well, I assume all of you would focus on Merrick, considering how much of a likely threat he is. Meanwhile, we'd have to deal with the other ones. And let's be honest. I think a Mortal Blade can match a Mortal Blade, don't you think?
Equal power with equal power, fire with fire.
Besides, I have my own reasons for going after the Lupin.
Well, should you fell him in battle? Well, I guess do a little. If I could ask you of this, well, kind of just like trouble coming up with words, like how to, like on what favor to assassinate roll if he does happen to follow this loop and in battle.
Mm-hmm.
But I know you can. I have faith that you can bring him down.
Yes, the only question is whether my future self will intervene in this matter. Since he seems to have since he was the one that gave him the blade, he had a reason for it, which means, and judging from the fact that he saved you all last night from those swordsmen, I think he meant for at least 2 of you to fall there. Which ones, he probably didn't know.
Well, that is something. Huh.
After all,
Do you have any idea how far from the future this your future self is?
If I had to hazard a guess, I'd say at least 1,000.
Oh, that's a jump. All right.
But he could be from any point in time. I've been visited by many of them, by many points.
Huh.
We are special in that regard.
So I've seen. Out of curiosity, when you said that the blade was meant to take down those who lived for too long, say if I wasn't killed by some poison in my wine or some, like, getting shanked in the back of an alleyway or just dying in whatever battle comes ahead, and I live out my life, would you come for me?
It depends. If you had proven to be a nuisance to the world of the living, well, I'd have to cut, and I'd fallen into the role that was meant for me. He then grips the blade. He then grips the handle tight as he looks up at you, and I'd have to cut you down where you stand.
Well then.
But as long as you don't prove to be a nuisance, and as long as at some point you withdraw from the world of the living to no longer influence history as a whole, well, I'd say that your life could go on until you deem it as being unable to go on any further. And then in that case, I'd come to relieve you of your burden, if you'd so ask, or pray. He then shrugs. Matters little to me.
Well, thank you for the thought, anyways. Alright, well, I'm happy to tell you that I don't have any plans on influencing the world of the living, so... Not to
say that you aren't living, anyway.
Touche. Yes.
Nerul? And then... Nerul nods and simply says, but you are an ally for now, and hopefully you continue to be one. But just to be clear, I have this now, and as I said before, any threat to my master is a threat that I deal with, so I bid you both good day, and I bid you both long lives, he says before he puts the blade on his back. Anyway, I'm off to deal with a nuisance.
Well, if you don't care to elaborate on what this nuisance is, I bid you a good day.
Just keep an eye on the sun, he says before he leaves.
Noted. Well then.
And that leaves just Kaladin and Searson.
So, what do you think of that little encounter?
I think what I think.
Ah, yes. What a wonderful, what a wonderful contribution.
My thoughts are not your secrets, Kaladin.
That is true. All right then.
But in any case, I wish you the best of luck with this information. You don't seem like the one who would get too intimidated by anything, so don't let them intimidate you.
Well, we'll see what happens in the future.
Do what you need to grab
I
your
swear, he he has a way of just hearing in on things one way or another.
Shadows are tricky things. She gets up. Unless you are going to anywhere important.
I will investigate, or I will examine these papers you've given me. Thank you.
Thank you. I will go wherever I'm needed. Let me go check up on Aldwin, see if he's getting a shirt back on.
Yes. Need to check up on him. I haven't died yet, so I wonder what sort of experience it has been for him.
After 4 days.
Well, I mean,
of course.
I've checked on him before, yeah, sure. Well, yeah, that's right, it is 4 days. We'll just say I checked up on him. I wonder how he's holding up after 4 days of dying.
No. True. Well, anyways, feel free to join us after you're done with your audit there. I look forward to seeing how you'll handle it.
So do I. Alright, I bid you good day.
I wave and leave.
Playing a dangerous game. Actually, no, hold up. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that. You hear, Kaladin, you hear a voice come from the back room.
Oh shit!
I will go. Alright, is the voice familiar or is it like a voice I haven't heard before?
It's Rainier.
Oh, okay. Well, can't really say much to that, but getting into a dangerous game is sometimes what's required, but hopefully I'll be able to lower the risks one way or another.
You promised her a noble house. Aren't you trying to become one yourself?
I mean, that is a goal in the future, perhaps, but not one that is high on the priority at the moment. So, we'll see what we can do about that.
Your ambition is both fascinating and worrying at the same time. Yeah. We'll see how far it gets me, whether that is to the next day or maybe a few years from now, or who knows how long. I suppose we'll see.
Yep. How's your project going along?
Yes, put it off to the side for now. I have something else I need to work on.
Such as?
Odds and ends, mainly getting ready. I had to smith out a whole order for Alar for something. Some of the mercenaries left town, and they needed good armor.
Yes, mercenaries always need the best of equipment, don't they?
Yes, but this was earlier than the order that I got for all of them, which means that he's up to something.
I wonder. Were we able to catch on anything, or was it close to the chest?
The guy mainly asked how I was. You can take a guess.
Gotcha. Alright. Well, with that, can I find out what they might be doing?
It's gonna... Since all the people that would have known about it are gone, the only people you could really ask are either the gate guards or Alar himself, depending on how risky you want to be.
That's a last resort, asking the suspicious person what they're doing.
Alright.
So, yeah. Also, I'd like to find out information regarding that little goblin assassin who, well, killed our Hob prisoner and severely wounded our mayor and bugbear compatriot.
Alright, well, investigation, and while you are doing those two activities, I'm going to switch over to Trevor.
Yeah, boy.
Trevor, I DM'd you something, by the way.
Yeah, I'm responding right now.
Alright.
Keith, I rolled investigation. That's a 28.
Alright, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, while he's writing me that, you're... Due to the amount of money that she got, you have the feeling that she probably got out of town quick. And as you spent 4 days recovering, she's probably been able to get a good lead on you.
Hmm.
The likelihood...
So, and he said... Yep, no, continue, sorry.
You might have... There was a sighting of a goblin in Aeneas the day after the attack, but afterwards she went further south. So she's most likely heading to Umayig, which means that she's either going to take a ship, or she's either going to take a ship from the capital, from a port there, which thousands of people head through that port, or she's going to go across land. And since there's a lot of trade routes that go through Umayig, it's going to be you have a feeling that it's going to be finding a needle in a haystack. A fun challenge, but one nonetheless.
Yes. Oh, the game is afoot. Anything else I find, like name or affiliates or anything, or just
she goes
general location?
You know that she goes by the name Riss. So, but you don't know whether that's her actual name or a code name.
Goes by... How do you spell that?
R-I-S.
R-I-S. Alright.
And I will say more as we get farther into time, because this is only what you can learn in a single day.
Gotcha. Alright, thank you.
Alright. And switching over to Trevor. Just gonna switch up the music now. Alright. Alright. So Dion, you were currently going on as your daily prayer by the shrine that Pino kept together. And you feel this warm sensation in the air as the day seems to get brighter. Like far brighter than it normally would, despite the fact that there's clouds. And you know this feeling before, because it's usually what happens when celestial beings or certain types appear. And you notice that no one else is reacting, but you think you have an idea of what's going on.
I guess I would kind of like when you get a phone call, how you step outside, I would kind of give a look to my fellow compatriots, like give them a nod and kind of like point outside, and then kind of walk to a private area, if that makes sense.
Well, you're at an altar that's outside, so you kind of like just walk off. And as you do...
Yeah, just kind of like head to a...
You get to a private area, and when you do, there's a flash of light that you're used to, as you see Taya standing before you. Of course, in an Asimar-like form, and no one else seems to be able to see her, accounting the fact that you're in a private area.
Right.
Dion?
Greetings, Taya. How have you been?
I've been... alright. I've been making circles throughout the East Coast recently. I've had to move my way farther west for a bit as well, but I've been busy. And she notices the fervor around the town. Yourself?
Quite busy as well, doing my best to ensure the people of this village, town, gathering settlement are as safe and secure as possible given the circumstance.
Yes. From what I gather, you're in conflict with what appears to be goblinoids?
That would be correct.
That's a...
But hopefully we can convince them to end hostilities so that we can all work together to end scarcity for this society. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be the case as of now, given their current attitudes towards the opposing side.
Yes, I've heard whispers of certain things going throughout. Seems like you've caused quite a stir due to the appearance of some people who I have no idea.
Well, time will tell, hopefully, so that we may all pool our resources and collectively strive towards a better tomorrow.
She nods, and then she says, "Oh, where are my manners?" And then she opens up her arms.
As in, like,
Hug.
to show something?
Give her a hug, man.
Oh, right. Yes, I will hug. Hashtag hug.
By the way, Dion knows he has a son, right? Just to be clear.
Correct. He knows of a loom.
How old is he at this point?
He's 5.
Your son's doing well, by the way. She says she squeezes you tight.
Glad to hear that. I've been writing to him.
He's slowly learning to read and the like. He's a fast learner, so seems to have the same amount of intelligence as you do, in a way.
Well, I'm glad that I was able to pass that on. Hopefully he takes a majority of his traits from you so that he can better use his abilities to help those around him.
Potentially, she says, but she then pulls away from the hug. Unfortunately, I can't stay long because it seems like I am needed elsewhere.
I understand. You are busy because you have such important work to do.
Yes. But I'll still make time to visit you here and there.
I appreciate that. I'm sure Loom does as well.
She nods, and then she kisses your forehead, and then she says, "Stay safe, Dion."
You as well.
And then, in another bright shine of light, she's gone. But you still feel that warm sensation in your chest even after she's gone.
Gotcha. Kind of like energy reinforcement, if you're familiar with the concept. Kind of like every cell in your body is energized to a point.
Well, that, and also, the warmness of seeing someone you love.
Oh, right, yeah, emotion. Yep.
And what would you like to do now?
I assume Dion would be in a good mood then,
Mm-hmm.
if that's correct.
Very good mood.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I guess if she had to head back, then I would return to the altar to finish my daily prayers.
All right. And as you do, you notice that both the Asimur...
But I'd kind of like glance up and give thanks away for her visit. I noticed. What about the Asimur? Sorry,
you notice that the two Asimur are both missing. That they had both left.
Ah, well, I may or may not know who they may be with.
It seems like they're the only two that are missing.
Gotcha. I guess I'll take a mental note of that.
All right. And let me see something. All right. Can't think about this right now.
I can aid in brainstorming if you wish.
No,
If there's something I can help.
I'm just wondering. Just trying to think of. Actually, yes. Actually, there is something. Actually, Dion, the altar's near the docks, so
Yes.
you notice that there's quite a stir there. Actually.
Gotcha. I will head over to see what the commotion is about.
You notice the mercenaries all seem to be crowded around somewhere, and they seem to be betting on something as money is being passed around. And then you hear the sound of it, oh! As someone gets knocked out of the middle of the circle, high into the air, and lands into a pile of snow next to you.
I will check if they're okay, like a medical check.
Roll medicine for me.
Got it. With or without the modifier? I assume with the modifier.
Yeah, with. You're skilled in medicine, so.
Right. I got a 23
with
adding the.
So nat 20, or like what was the base roll?
Yeah. Let me make sure I'm adding correctly here. Okay, so
your wisdom's.
I should have a +6 in medicine, correct?
Okay, so I think it's a. Let me check to make sure.
I got a 17 and I added 6.
Oh yeah, then that's fine then.
I think that's correct.
It's +7 currently, because you're level 6.
Oh, I see. Proficiency went up.
Yeah, your proficiency's up to a +3 now, so that'd be a 24. From what you can tell, it looks like. From what you can tell, it looks like that he's fine. He's fine, as he just seems to be stunned as he got knocked flat. He got knocked high into the sky, and the crowd kind of parts.
Oh god!
The crowd like blunt force trauma, like he's kind of like dazed.
Yeah, and the crowd parts.
You're cut now.
I am. All right. Am I cutting out now? All right.
I'll help him up
if he's conscious.
Now. All right.
Like, push my hand down, kind of thing.
All right. You pull him out. He kind of like shakes the snow out of his hair. Ugh, that guy hits like a truck.
I will ask if he's all right.
Really?
Rose, no.
All right, I'm back.
Are you really though?
So, Sen, the last thing I heard you say is that the person that was hit said that he was hit with the force of a truck, and I asked him what he was doing.
Oh, okay. Am I cutting out, just to be clear?
Wait, trucks exist?
No, they
Yes.
don't. I meant a cart. Am I cutting out, by the way?
No, you're fine-ish.
Occasionally you'll cut out for a bit.
All right, noted. He said, the guy, well, I was sparring against that guy, and the crowd parts, and you see this large, 8-foot-tall, draconic-looking figure.
Ooh.
He's covered in white scales. He appears to only have one arm, his right arm, as he wields a katana in his right hand.
Oh
see.
no. He coming.
And he kind of...
I guess I would say that, well, as long as you're all right and you agreed to this sparring, then I'll let you be on your way, sir. If there's anything else you would need, just let me know.
He nods, kind of rubbing his back as he walks away. And the draconic kind of laughs and says, "Anyone else up next?" And no one else seems to be wanting in as they're like shuffling money between themselves.
I assume this individual appears to be quite physically imposing.
Yes, like he is built. He's lean, but he's also built. As you notice, he stands tall above the rest. Like
person.
My man's swole as fuck.
Like he's 8 foot tall at least, and you notice the 2 wings on his back and the draconic-looking figure. He's not a half dragon, from what you can tell, but he definitely has heavy draconic blood in him.
Gotcha. I guess if he wasn't currently engaged with anyone, I would walk up to him and ask if I could elicit his assistance in perhaps either combat or construction around town if he wasn't otherwise occupied.
The draconic figure kind of looks at you. Oh, living armor, huh? He says with a bit of a smirk on his face. I can make time for that.
Living armor as in he's saying because I am dressed in armor?
Yeah, he can't, because since you're wearing, from the way your token looks, there's no, like, physical skin that he can see, so he's assuming that's your armor.
Right, I got you. So he said that he basically laughed at the proposition.
He laughed and then he said, "Sure, I can make time for that."
Gotcha. I would appreciate your assistance given your mighty physical capabilities. I think that we could really provide aid to some people around the village to enhance their standard of living, given the current need for skilled labor.
Oh, for God's sakes, he said, "If we were going to fight, would you shut up and get here and fight?" He says as he kind of like swings his katana through the air once.
Oh, are we fighting?
That's what he means. Like he wants someone else to fight him.
Ah, well, I would say that if he wishes to fight, I will fight in an honorable non-lethal duel if he will agree to, once the duel has concluded, provide aid somewhere in town wherever he may be needed.
The only person that I'm here to help is the Dragon Pharaoh opener in the bakery, and since he promised me a good fight against hobgoblins, that's all I agreed to here. He says as he kind of like stabs his katana into the ground.
I see. In that case, may I offer you perhaps a gamble bet percentage chance choice, and if I was to win in some kind of contest of martial capacity, then you would be willing to provide a brief level of assistance to members of the town that may need it. Would that be suitable for yourself, sir?
Sure, armor. I can deal with that.
What is the current time of day?
It is noon. It's noon. It's probably about to reach 2 p.m. at this point.
Gotcha. I would say in 1 hour we will engage in this honorable duel, and
well, hey, Cookie.
if I am to win, I would much appreciate if you would offer your assistance to someone that would need it in town, and if not, and if you are to win, I can provide medical assistance, whatever you may need it, though I would already do so without you asking, but I would be willing to monetarily compensate you for your efforts in terms of either assisting others or your victory, as your honor would demand some form of a prize victory, if you wish.
Dion, as you finish this, you see that his eyes kind of glazed over, and then he says, "Really? You're gonna make me wait an hour?"
I guess not.
Well, come on then.
If it would help incentivize you to aid the others, then I will engage as of now, if you wish.
As you get halfway through that statement, okay, he immediately rushes forward and this white-scaled Draconics rushes forward with his katana and takes a swing at you, and you are barely able to pull up your shield before you are knocked back about 10 feet by his katana hitting your shield.
I would compliment his physical strength, noting that he was perhaps one of the, if not the strongest physical combatants that I've ever faced. And saying that this strength was a gift that he should use to help others.
Less talking, and then his wings flap as he stomps into the snow. More fighting, as his blue eyes shine. And Tate.
So, do I treat this kind of like a normal combat, or
yeah, normal combat?
Like normal combat.
Tate, as you're taking the rounds around town for a bit, you notice that there's a commotion going on at the docks, and that's when you see Takeshi seems to be screwing up against Dion.
Why?
From what you can tell, he seems to have been sparring against the other mercenaries and been beating all of them, and now he wants to take a chance against Dion.
All right.
And then he spent one attack. He's going to attack 2 more times. That's a base 17. Let's go with a +6 for now. So I'm going to assume he has a strength of +3. That's a 23 hit.
Yes, it would.
All right. So for a second, I just got to get on my dice. There we are. That's going to be 1d8. That's going to be 1d8 plus 2d6 frost. All right. So you take 8 slashing and 7 cold damage.
How many slashing? Sorry.
8 slashing, 6 cold. Oh, 7 cold.
Got it. 8 slashing, 7 cold.
Which I believe brings you down to a total. From what I remember, your health is at a 94 right now, correct?
I have it. Correct. I have it listed at 94 with a 19 AC.
All right. Phone. It's a total of 8. So you're down to 79 health.
Got it.
And then he's going to attack one more time. That's going to be a 15 to hit. That's going to miss. So Tate and Dion, you see him take 2 more swings. The first one gets through Dion's guard and gets him square on the side, kind of like knocking him into the air a bit. And then he proceeds to go right over his head with his one arm and slams it down into Dion's shield, sending him careening back into the ground. But he's able to, and his feet dig into the snow as you notice as your shield's starting to get a dent into it.
Yikes.
It's now your turn, Dion.
Gotcha. So I am going to. So if I speak to him during the combat, is that an action or is that counted as an environmental interaction?
It counts. Basically, you can talk, but it has to be 6 seconds worth of speaking.
Gotcha. So in the most concise manner possible, I would ask him if he was okay with the use of spells in this duel, or if that would be against his wishes.
Go right ahead, he says with a grin on his face.
Gotcha. Well, I guess that would give him forewarning, but since it's an honor duel, it can't be helped. So, I will cast Hold Person on him.
Alright. Give me a second here. Just gonna pull up. Alright, Hold Person. He has to make a Wisdom save. Okay. So,
I assume it was low just from his characterization, but I could be wrong.
so your holy symbol starts to glow as you cast Wait. Let's be clear. Hold Person is a... Yeah, okay. Alright. He's going to take it. You see that him start to get restrained. He's going to take a deep breath. And you see he's going to take a deep breath as he feels your magic clenching around him, and then he takes a firm stance, which shatters this magical aura around him as your whole person seems to fail, if barely.
Gotcha.
Clever.
Sorry, did you say something?
He said to you, clever, with a grin on his face.
Thanks. I was trying to diffuse the conflict if possible, but it seems that your wisdom was too much for my current efforts. I will have to do better next time.
Any bonus action or anything?
I guess I could use, let's see. I want to say a few options in terms of healing that are bonus actions.
You have Healing Word, which you can cast on yourself.
Healing Word, 1 action. 1d4 plus 4. So I think that may be able to. I will cast that. And if I was to cast that, it's. So 1d4 plus 4, that's a maximum of 8.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was to cast that at level 2, it increases by
2d4 plus
d4, is that correct?
Yeah, 2d4 plus 4.
Gotcha. In that case, I will cast it at level 2.
Alright. I think, just to be clear, that uses... I think that uses
my
up...
chances of...
I think that brings you down to 1 second level spell slot.
Understood. Appreciate the heads up.
Alright.
Okay, so I will do that.
Alright, you can roll for yourself as I'm going to go over to his turn. Noticing your magic, he's going to have a grin on his face. And Tate, you notice ice starts to form on his person as the ice travels down to the stump where his left arm used to be and turns into an icy left arm.
Oh, that's cool.
And then he summons a glaive out of that ice, and you notice that the snow starts to pick up as he gives it a whirl.
That's crazy, yo.
Alright, armor. Let's see what you got. And then he's gonna take one massive swing at you with his glaive.
At who?
At Dion. And you notice that he does it with one hand, despite the fact that a glaive usually takes 2 hands. Alright.
I assume he must have a strength threshold. Or perhaps a magic weapon of sorts.
The first attack misses. His second attack is going to hit with a 24. And his third attack is going to miss. So you take a total of... You take 8 slashing again and 9 frost. So 17 damage total.
Okay, that moves me down to 62. So with the D4s in the Healing Word spell, I assume I roll those independently. Would that be correct?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Just let me know when you'd like to know those rules. So I got a 4 on one D4 and a 2 on the other, so a 6 total.
10. So you got back 10 health. So that brought you up to 89. But then his attack brought you down to I believe that's 72. Yep, 72.
Got it.
And then he's going to action surge. He's going to take a deep breath, and he looks at you for a moment, Tate, as he does, before he roars at Dion, letting forth this plume of cold breath. And Dion, I need you to roll me a con save.
Got it. I add my Constitution modifier. Is that correct?
Your con saving modifier, yeah.
That's
So
plus 5.
So there's going to be a +8 to your roll.
+8. Got it. And I rolled that on a d20.
Mm-hmm.
20 plus 8. Got it. So I rolled an 18. Plus 8 would be 26, I believe, if that's correct.
All right. In this case, you're going to take half of the damage. So you take. So let me roll real quick. 10, 16, 18, 21. So you take. So half of that. You take 10 cold damage.
Got it. So now I was at 72, and I believe I'm now at 62.
Yep. As he once again hits you with his frost, and Tate, as he does let out this roar, it's the same one that you heard when you saw him slaughter all of the flame guard back in the mercenary camp. Keep in mind, this is the same day that you found him, and you're definitely feeling the strength of his draconic side.
Oh shit, he won't kill him, right? I hope not.
You don't know for sure at this point. He seems to be getting really into it.
Can I like roll insight? I guess.
Roll insight.
Ooh. Okay, I got a 21.
You get the feeling that he's starting to get really into the fight, and if he doesn't snap out of it, with both of his weapons, he might kill Dion, or at least injure him heavily.
Okay, I'll give it a couple more minutes. I give it another minute. If he like fuck him up, then I got to be like, bro, chill out.
All right. And then he points the glaive at you and he says, "Come on, give me a real fight here. You haven't even touched me yet." As it's now Dion's turn.
I will do my best. I will. Well, I'd like to restrain him so that further conflicts can be avoided. But seeing as though I only have one level 2 spell left, and he already beat my... You said that the other hold person was somewhat close to restraining him, is that correct?
Yes, it seems like he would have failed if not for the fact that his will seemed to just break the hold person spell.
Gotcha. I will attempt to do that again, just to try and defuse the situation.
Alright, you cast hold person again. He's going to make a wisdom save. He rolled a nat 17, so... What's your DC?
I have an 18 wisdom, and then I think, do you add a +2 proficiency?
+3, so
3.
4, 12, 15. Unfortunately, he beats it by 2 on the die.
Okay, I see.
So once again, he just kind of breaks out of it again, and he kind of just growls now. He's getting annoyed.
I would ask him to be as calm as possible, and if he was to hurt anyone, to focus that aggression onto myself.
As you tell him this, it starts getting far colder in the arena. It starts getting far colder in the town, actually, as the snow gets even harder. And Tate, despite the fiery blood that you have, even you're starting to get affected by this cold.
Oof, okay.
Oh no.
And everyone around town is actually starting to notice this too, as it's snowing heavier and heavier.
If it's causing a problem for the people of the town, I would ask that he could maybe restrict the effect of his cold aura onto myself, if possible.
It's not a hold aura. It seems like his It seems like this draconic figure is so powerful that his ice nature seems to be affecting the weather around him.
Condense the area of effect into only affect those involved within the duel, because it may or may not be impeding the progress of the town. If he is able to do that.
He doesn't look like he's able to control it, as he kind of like growls at you and says, "Hit me."
I continue to do my best, but it seems that your will and wisdom is preventing me from doing so. But I will do my best to give you the honorable duel that you seek. Powerful one.
Alright. And this time he's going to forego it. Are you going to use your bonus action for anything, or have you run out?
I have some other healing spells that could prove useful. So I don't think any of my other healing spells are able to be activated on a bonus action.
Healing word is a bonus action.
Yeah, I think. I don't think any others are bonus actions, so I'll just hunker behind my shield and prepare for the eventual onslaught, I guess.
Alright. Tate, you start getting a massive deja vu moment as you see ice start to swirl around him, and taking his glaive in one hand, you see him start to use the same move that you did, as he's gonna take one swing at Dion.
Okay.
And though it doesn't hit, it does crack Dion's shield in two.
Dang it.
Dion, you feel your arms start to give as you fall on one knee.
I see.
And you are forced down, and everyone is starting to back away slightly as you see that he's becoming far more draconic as he pushes against your broken shield and starts to force you into the snow.
Gotcha. I guess I would speak to the crowd and say I advise that you get to a safe distance, please. I am unsure if our friend here will be able to contain his might within this area. So if you wouldn't mind to get to as safe a distance as possible, I would appreciate it.
The crowd seems to nod as they slowly start to back away. Except Tate, I think. Or Tate, are you backing away too?
I'm not backing away.
I appreciate that, Tate.
Come on. I was hoping for a fight, not for a slaughter, he says. He raises his glaive back up again, and then you hear the rushing of footsteps from behind you, Dion.
Yeah.
And then as he brings down the glaive again, this time you see Lyrian rush up with a blade in hand, and as he seems to knock back the glaive and force this draconic figure to slide back.
I would speak to Lyrian and say that as long as it does not pose a danger to anyone else in the town, I have agreed to honorably duel our friend here. So if you would not mind to wait to intervene until the danger was posed to the people other than myself, I would appreciate it.
Bro, you're gonna die. No.
That's enough, he says. He growls at the draconic. How did you even find us? He seems to growl. As you notice that he seems to have this burning hatred for the draconic. He brought me here, he says. He points the glaive at Tate. And since you're here, I'm sure Leowin's here too, isn't he? Now where is he? You won't get to touch him, you hear Lyrian say as he readies his blade. Well, I'm gonna enjoy this then. As Takeshi takes a step forward, and he takes a swing down, and he swings down at Alar once again. He's gonna miss, and that's when you notice Alar seem to. You see Alar.
Opportunity of attack.
So I'm gonna describe this. You see Alar step to the side. He takes a spin, raises his right foot into the air, and slams it down on the glaive's blade, slamming it into the snow. With a finesse that you've never seen before, and then he climbs on top.
while this is going on, I'm going to do my best to aid in restraining the dragonic being. Whatever I can to aid.
As you do, he climbs on top of Takeshi, and you see him grab him by the shoulder before he drives the sword straight into his chest before ripping it through the side, causing blood to spurt through the air before Takeshi falls to the ground. And then Lyrian falls off of him as Takeshi falls to the ground.
I guess I would check to see if first Lyrian and then you said his name was Takeshi?
Takeshi, but you don't know that in character. Only Tate does. As I assume Tate rushes over once Lyrian kind of just takes a chunk out of him with a sword.
Right. I'm just gonna try and do like a medical check, like see if he's okay.
All right. Tate, do you come over?
Who? To who?
Well, to the two of them, because what happened was Lyrian just stabbed his sword into Takeshi's chest and then ripped it out through the side, basically making this huge gash in his torso.
Okay, yeah.
As you walk over, Lyrian seems alright, as he takes a deep breath and kind of like wipes off the sword, and then you hear a groan from Takeshi as he kind of like sits up, despite the fact that you know for a fact that he was stabbed in either the heart or the lung.
Okay.
I'll ask if he requires medical assistance.
He kind of cracks his neck. I'll be fine. He then stands up, and you see that the gash, that the fatal wound that Lyrian made is healing.
Oh, impressive. I would compliment his regenerative abilities.
It's more of an annoyance than anything.
I see it as a gift that you can use to aid those around you, but I understand that existence can be painful in different areas.
He then looks over at Dion for a moment before he sighs, and then he looks over at Lyrian. Did you really have to get in the way? You were going to kill him. I was having fun. Nearly killing him.
I would note that he fought honorably, and that I will once again hope to be able to challenge him on a more equal footing once I improve my martial capabilities. But I would reach out a hand to shake it for a good fight. Yes.
He kind of like takes your hand and shakes it, nodding. You were... Well, I wish you threw an actual swing, but I guess I can't expect much from walking armor.
Well, I did my best to provide a honorable and entertaining combat for you, but it seems I still have a ways to improve if I am to be an equal match to your quite impressive combat capabilities from what I have seen. But I will strive to become an equal and or rival to your skill so that I may aid others, as it seems you have the capacity to do.
He nods. Yep, he says before he dispels his left arm, as he goes back to the right arm and sheaths his katana. So, and then he looks over at Tate. So, what'd you think, Ember?
You almost killed someone.
Yes, I got that, but...
I would subtly note that I was all right and not to worry about it.
I mean, you know, what you did was cool and all, but can you not try to kill anybody?
I will only make sure to kill the enemy from now on. I just wanted to make sure that you saw that, since That's what you're going to be fighting against.
Who, me?
He then motions to the snow around us. You did notice this, right?
I noticed it.
Yeah.
What do you think's going to happen to you when it happens to you again?
All right. Okay, I get it.
I would ask you for a sparring match, but all right. I think this one he looks over at Lyrian. It's probably going to get in my way, so I'm going to go out for a walk then. He says he walks away. And then Lyrian kind of like rubs his shoulder for a moment and then looks over at Tate and kind of asks, "Where did you find him?"
He destroyed the. I forgot the name of those dudes.
Flame guard.
But, yeah, he destroyed the flame guard when I saw him, so I thought, why not?
You found quite a character, I can tell you that much.
Yes, I did.
I never thought I'd see the White Death again.
Wait, you know that dude?
I could joke to say that I almost saw my death. A little knee slap.
Lyrian kind of chuckles. He's known as the White Death. He was a mercenary under the King of Liberation when I waged a war in the West. I mean.
Huh.
He killed leagues of men on his own, and it took Leowyn, Jesus Christ. Give me a second real quick.
Okay.
All right.
Well, at least I didn't die. I definitely thought I'd do a bit better. But...
I'll continue real quick. He kind of just says, "It took me, Gawain, Darrow, and quite an arsenal of soldiers in order to take him down. Even then, all we did was cleave off his arm. He was a demon on the battlefield. He disappeared after he lost his arm. I suppose, though, I can take a guess on why he's here, since judging by what he said to me. I think he wants Leowyn's head, for taking his arm anyway."
Perhaps
Yeah.
come to a more...
Yeah, I remember him telling me that when we met. Well, something similar.
Wonderful. Now I have him to watch out for as well.
He'll be alright as long as you keep him under control.
I'd ask for your help in that matter, since it seems like you appear to be a student of his now.
I am not no damn student. He just saw me, I just saw him.
Yet he calls you Ember.
Right.
I don't know. Usually when nicknames like that apply, I expect a student-teacher relationship there. If that's not the case, then all right then. I don't know if that'll be the case, Dion. I think the only thing that'll work for him is killing, and he'll only be satisfied when he gets to the battlefield.
Prosperity must be eliminated, so he perhaps can be of use for the greater good. It seems that his might would allow him to be quite the capable force on the battlefield, if for the right reasons.
If he doesn't continue to freak out like that. But for the time being, I suggest that we keep our eye on him for now.
I think that would be wise, though I would suggest respecting his space as to not provoke any unwanted actions against innocents.
I don't think I'll be going near him. Not sure about the rest of you.
Probably a wise decision. He seemed like a somewhat nice fellow to me, if a bit aggressive, perhaps.
That,
I
my dear friend,
can,
is an understatement.
I could speak with him in regards to channeling this aggression to more positive outlets. I went through a similar experience earlier in my life, though I had help far outside the abilities of my own, I may say.
I wouldn't recommend it.
So perhaps I will part of that being to aid us in our endeavors to utilize his great power for the good of others.
He sighs. If you'd like to try, go ahead, but as of this current moment, I think the only person that could potentially talk to him without getting their head cleaved off is Tate himself.
Well, I think Tate would be very capable of doing so, with or without our assistance.
Tate? Nope.
Yep.
Well, I have other matters to attend to, so I'll leave how to deal with him to you all. And with that, I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break because I have to get inside because it's raining hard out on this deck.
Okay.
Got it, no problem.
Nice.
So, for those of you that are more experienced in the ways of D&D combat, the way in which I approached it, I assume, was flawed to a certain degree, given my lack of success. Or was that more of a circumstance?
He was probably meant to beat you up anyway.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think he was supposed to beat you up, so...
Like, he has 3 attacks, that means something.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And at best, we have 2.
Yeah, like, usually fighters get their 3rd attack, like, at what, like, 11th level? Or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
At least.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
You get your action surge at 2nd level and 2nd attack at 5th level. So I know that he action surged, and he had at least 1 bonus attack, though he may have had 2. But I guess eventually I may reach that point of power.
Yeah,
given the fact
it's 11th level where you get your 2nd extra attack, allowing you to attack 3 times. And if you're dual wielding, that's a 4th. But he was just wielding 1 weapon, so yeah. That's at least an 11th level fighter.
I hope I become that deadly when I reach that level.
And
Hopefully my hold persons are a bit more effective. I didn't quite use them very effectively in that instance. I'm going to go take out the trash. I'll be back in a second.
Alright.
I'm so mad.
We're back inside.
Hi, back inside.
Bro, I'm fucking serious right now. Dude, that only lasted 3 hours. I worked hard on those curtains and those gutters.
As you can hear, our resident kobold is upset at the fact that the deck wasn't waterproof.
I am angry!
It's okay.
now just get some sealant. He'll be fine.
The thing was, we worked on that deck and the gutters too to make sure that the lower deck was waterproof. He waterproofed them himself apparently. So. Right. Starting back up. I'm just a backpedal because the rain was getting to me while I was having that conversation. So Alar's going to look at Tate and say, to be quite honest, so I'm gonna go back before we. So I'm gonna.
lose myself into my screen.
All right, I'm gonna kind of change up what he says. He's gonna look at Tate and says, the fact that I get the feeling that you and him have a connection somewhere, don't you?
Kind of.
Would it happen? Huh. Would it happen to be about what we discussed before? He says as he kind of folds his arms a bit.
What did we discuss before we're out of character?
He brought up the fact that how bloodlust can take a hold of men and turn them into monsters.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Go ahead. And the one person, and I'm guessing that he demanded to help you with that problem.
He didn't demand. He kind of pushed himself in, but I allowed it.
I'd recommend you be careful, Tate, because if there's anyone who knows about bloodlust, it's that man. After all, I was on the receiving end of it.
Don't worry, I got it.
He nods. Well then, if either of you wish to speak to him, I wish you the best. I myself, I'm going to go deal with another matter entirely, he says with a sigh.
Okay.
He then waves you all goodbye and walks off, kind of like trying to wade through the snow that's gone to like 4 feet. That's gone to like 3 feet at this point. And then the mercenaries kind of go back to their business from before. Tate, where would you most likely go at this point? Back to the bakery or?
What time is it?
It's about 2:00.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
All right. All right. So I'm going to shift now to Tate's side of things. Tate, you head back to the bakery. All right. You head back to the bakery and you see Faye trying to quickly make her way inside, avoiding kind of like flapping her wings to get the snow off of her as she gets in before you. That was cold.
Hey, where were you?
I was walking around, just kind of like taking in the scenery, and then suddenly someone decided that a snowstorm was going to happen today.
Oh, yeah, that's our new friend.
What, Takeshi? He did that?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. What, were you fighting him?
No, Dion was.
Dion.
The paladin.
She looks at you kind of confused still.
The guy who's like all about honor and shit.
Oh, the guy who I've never seen take off that chainmail once.
Yep, that's the one.
Do you think he cleans that?
I hope so.
Yeah, I kind of hope so too. Kind of hoping he doesn't sleep in that.
Well, what's up?
Anyway, so how'd the fight go, I guess?
It went alright. Though he did almost kill Dion, and what's his face had to stop him.
The Shadow Elf?
Yeah, that guy.
Wait, I think the Shadow's name was Nerul? Him?
Wait, no, not him. That other dude with the L. Wait, who stopped him? I know it was the one with the L, right?
Lyrian.
Lyrian, yeah, shit. Yeah, Lyrian stopped him.
Oh, the high elf. Okay. Wow. All right. Wait, how the heck did he stop him? I would have lost. Would have broken my arm if I tried to do that.
He's strong.
As strong as you. She kind of like nudges your side.
No, not even close.
Oh, but he could take down Takeshi.
Yes.
And can you take him down?
I mean, I think so. Probably. But I don't want to risk that. That dude's a fucking psycho.
She kind of just has a smirk on her face. Mm-hmm. So what are you gonna do now then?
Just look after the bakery. I think Whitney's out.
Aww.
Shut up.
What? What'd I do?
Shut up or I'll kick you out.
You can't kick me out. I'm your sister.
Exactly.
Wow. This is the thanks I get for being such a great older sister. Wow. No loyalty, I swear.
Yep, that's me.
Dylan kind of pauses. I didn't mean that literally.
Sure.
Well, anyway, I suppose. Well, anyway, I think it's warm out here. I think it's warm enough out there. Eventually, or I can warm myself up, so I might as well get back out there. I've been hearing that there's some strangeness going on in the forest.
Max.
Is it bad?
I don't have any idea. That's what I got to find out. I am a ranger, after all.
All right. Well, let me know.
Oh well, don't worry. I'll make sure you and your friend stay safe. She then kind of like she nudges you before walking towards the door.
All right. Stay safe.
Oh well. She then slips back out. I swear the two of you really are siblings. Uo says. He kind of like sits in his usual spot.
Yeah, of course we are.
How come we never talked about your family before?
Because they're dangerous. Don't start getting nosy, old man.
Oh, well, listen here, Sonny. I've lived a long time. Seen my fair share of war. Sure, I could handle it.
Basically, I used to be in the gang. That's all you need to know. Well, not a gang, but we were like high up in the crime area.
Oh, wow. Sounds like you were pretty tough stuff then.
Kind of. It was mainly my sisters.
What about your brothers?
Don't have any.
Really?
Yep.
Considering that you have two sisters, I would have assumed some brothers in there. He takes a sip out of his drink. But that's none of my business.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, I'm not going to dig into it.
Let's sit over there and eat your desserts.
He kind of just chuckles a bit before he goes back to eating his desserts.
I guess I'm working now, so what do I roll for that?
Yeah. Roll me a. Let me think about this. Are you proficient? Are you proficient in cooking utensils?
I don't think so.
All right. I was gonna say use that. I was gonna say roll. Well, roll me a wisdom check then.
Okay. Ooh, my wisdom is not great. 14.
With 14, with 14, your work goes pretty well from what you can tell, from what you gather, since you're kind of going back into the usual 9 to 5 grind, or sunrise to sundown grind, and you make about 15 gold for yourself,
Okay.
and you kind of feel those 2 gemstones you took kind of jingling in your pocket as you're moving throughout the day,
Mm-hmm.
and think about this. Eventually, the day does come to a close, as the 14th of Elso does come to an end. The 15th rolls around, and as I described last session, the day of resurrection for Ellison arrives. She returns. She returns to life, and I assume the Lastimosa / Eligard family is going to be quick to take her back in.
More than likely, yes.
And while she is quickly shunted back home, you all do notice that it seems very bright out today. Very bright out today, as it's shining, as the sun is shining bright through the clouds, despite the snow that's still falling around you. So it's currently about 10 a.m.
10 a.m. Okay.
On the 15th of Elso.
Okay.
This is a tad odd.
A wee bit odd.
And then one of the guards comes running up to you guys and says, hey, can I get some help here? He says, as he says before he kind of like comes to a stop, kind of out of breath.
Where is he?
You guys are all you guys all went towards Lyrian's tree, because that's Alarnal's tree, as you found out that's his real name, as that's where the ceremony took place near it. So you guys are still standing outside as Ellison's taken away, and he kind of like falls to his knees in the snow, trying to make sure that his face doesn't fall into it, as he's kind of like trying to get his breath back.
Oh.
What's occurring?
The two Aesmer and one of those tieflings, they left the town. One of the mages tried to read their mind, and just clear. It's like they went blank. And then I tried to say something, and then everyone around me just started blacking out. They went into the forest. I ain't going after them. You're crazy, dude.
Well, take us to the. Well, if you're not willing to chase, at least take us to the last spot you saw them.
Kind of like takes a deep breath and pushes himself out of the snow. And I assume everyone's gonna follow him.
Yeah.
All right. You all follow him. He takes you to one of the nearby watchtowers that was finished. And you notice that everyone there appears to be unconscious, all breathing, thankfully, but they all seem to be within a deep unconscious state.
Huh. Well.
All of them will look at the guard that led him. Go into the town and see if you can find any spare guardsmen and bring them here.
He nods as he leaves. You see the footsteps. You see 3 sets of footsteps heading further into the forest.
3 footsteps?
Mm-hmm. 3 sets of footsteps.
What do they look like?
2. All 3 of them appear to be humanoid in shape. Humanoid in shape, most likely fitting what you expect an 2 Asimur and a Tiefling's footprints to look like.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like there's any roll survival for me, Tate. Since you're the one inspecting the footprints.
Ooh, survival is wet. Oh, not 1. That's a 2.
I mean, you can tell that they don't seem to. It doesn't look like there's anything irregular about. There's not waiting in the snow. It seems like they're walking clear of mind, but you can't really figure out much else, like what they're wearing or the like.
Okay.
Can Aldwin stick his head over and see if he can decipher anything?
Roll survival.
Cal would like to investigate the surroundings, I guess. See, like, what else took place here, or where they might have gone, or what they're consisting of, stuff like that.
It's 8. Okay, thank you. What's your investigation check, Gabe?
Well, since investigation, not survival, that's a 28 and not a non-nat 20, so a 28.
All right. So, so together you can figure out that. Well, even with your combined efforts, there's not much to be able to tell, really. Like they're clear of mind. It seems like they're just wearing normal clothes and the like as they're walking through the snow. From what you can tell, the snow seems perfectly stepped in, as if none of it's catching on their clothes and the like. So it's almost like it's falling off of them as they keep walking.
So falling off, not melting off.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I roll a history check to see if, like, I know of any items or something like that that's capable of doing that?
From what you remember, just using passive history, there is no item that's like that, or magic that's like that. Sure, there are stories of elves being able to walk on top of snow, but those are quickly proven false, as you can tell with, Aldwin kind of struggling to stay upright in the snow.
I see. Well, then. Alright, then. Where did the footprints lead?
Deeper into the forest, from what you can tell.
Well, guess we should head onwards to try and track these people down. Or at least find out why they just got up and left. Hello?
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking. All right.
Oh, okay.
I was looking for music real quick. I was looking for music real quick.
Gotcha.
All right. So you all walk deeper into the forest, and As you get further in, that's when you notice that the light seems to be getting even brighter from above high. And Dion, Dion, as before, you recognize this, but you know for a fact that it isn't that it isn't her, because she's off somewhere. She's off somewhere else. And as you walk deeper in, finally you reach this clearing, and you see all three of them unconscious, but one of the Aesir being cradled in the arms of what appears to be a figure in a white cloak, as he's sitting on top of the snow, kind of just humming to himself.
Okay.
As you all take a step forward, it appears as if light seems to shut off him for a moment, and you see an arm stretch out of his back before a second version of him climbs out of him, and stands, kind of just walking forward and stopping you all from approaching.
Okay, that's creepy.
Well, that's a first. All right. Well, I stop.
And what exactly do you think are you doing here?
I glance over at Aldwin.
What are we doing here?
That's a good question. Alright, so I guess our original reason for coming here was like to determine like why the Aesir and Tiefling just left. We just want to find out why, I guess. We don't really intend on dragging them back to Leowyn, from what I can tell. Is that correct?
Is that what you guys agreed on?
Well, did we? I thought we were just searching for whatever
just
damn footprints were.
Well, those footprints were the Aesir and the Tiefling. So I thought we were like tracking them down, like to at least know the reason why they just left, and also, I guess, incapacitated several guards/mages.
Yeah, that seems right.
All right. I guess I'll say that. Well, we spotted a number of guards and mages in a, deep slumber, if that's what one could call it. And, we'd just like to know why, and why that happened, and also, I guess, the reason of your sudden departure.
Referring to the three, when you mean you mean the two Aesir and the Tiefling that are unconscious right now?
Wait, so there's the two Aesir and the Tiefling unconscious.
And then there's
the ones that left?
Then there's a white cloaked figure holding one of the Aesir who created a second copy of himself that's standing before you.
Oh, it's the brother. Oh, shit.
Oh, shit, okay.
Okay, I think this might be the light brother. Oh, okay, alright, okay. Change of plans. I doubt we want a TPK right now. Okay, so would I be able to make the deduction of who this man is?
Say that again?
Would I be able to deduct who this guy is based off, like, his attire and, his aura, I guess you could say. His bearing.
White cloak, white hair, white eyes, sun shining brightly, the exact opposite of how the moon shines purple at night. Yeah, I think you can make a guess saying that this is the legendary Light Brother.
Alright, well. You are the Light brother, I presume?
Yes, and I already know of you all. As he stares at you all, as he looks between you all, Kaladin Lastimosa, Tate Severin, Ragus, Sis and Ruzanak, Terrence, Aldwin Hollywood, and Dion.
Well, I guess, thank you. It's nice that you at least know of our existence.
You have me to thank for existing, he says. He folds his arms.
Well, thank you, my lord.
He's giving you all a cold stare.
Well, I guess if you're wondering what we're doing here, we just wanted to find out why the Asimers and the Tiefling just suddenly left, and while also leaving several of our guard and mages incapacitated. That is what we came here to find.
I came here to speak with my children. As for the unconscious guards, I assume that was, he glances over at one of them, one of their doings, to make sure that they wouldn't interfere.
Whoa!
Well, that's the explanation there.
That was like right over there.
Would I imagine you would like us to leave here.
Considering that it's taking every fiber of my being to continue being polite in front of all of you murderers, yes, indeed.
Murderers? What? Okay.
Well, if I may ask, how do you see us as murderers?
And there's a brief flash through each of your minds of all the people that you have killed up to this point, and it causes such deep, searing pain in your heads that you all fall to your knees before him.
Ah. I see. Alright, so first goblins was self-defense.
And before
The goblins were mainly self-defense. Everything was pretty much in self-defense, if I remember correctly.
I don't think he cares much, from what you can tell.
So, would you have preferred us to just die?
It matters little to me at this point. That's the fate for most of you.
Well, it's the fate of all mortals to die one way or another.
But different this time, he says as he looks up at the snow.
How is that?
I think you've already been warned, he says as he looks between Searson, Dion, and Kaladin.
Ooh. Exposed.
Okay.
Okay.
I've been warned.
Nerul.
Sorry.
Remember when Nerul
Yeah.
and I forget what the other Asimer's name was, when they told you about the far-flung invasion? The
the demons? Yeah.
The endless night that's coming?
Yeah. Got it.
Oh, is this like the harbinger of it? Or like this is the beginning?
No, not even close yet.
The beginning.
Not
Or
yet.
at least the mark of the prologue.
Not even the beginning, damn.
Damn.
It's not time. It's not time yet. It soon will be. How much time you have left, I don't know, nor do I truly, I suppose, care at this point.
Oh, I can tell already.
After all, you bought it all among yourselves at this point.
How so?
He then gives you a look as he says, I'm not sure. What's currently going on in the world at this moment that could potentially cause so much chaos and devastation?
A few things can come to mind.
Warfare,
Yeah.
disease,
War on many fronts.
There's a small little list off the top of my head. I mean, to be sarcastic here, all the ones say.
Like,
You notice that the sarcasm really doesn't seem to amuse him that much as he just stares at you.
Ooh.
All of them particularly?
Hard
Yes.
crowd.
yeah, tough crowd. Well, there's the goblins running amok in our lands. There's also our kingdom fighting a three-front war, if I remember correctly. And the goblins are, if I remember, raiding because their gods are telling them to. And a few other events here and there.
He kind of just sighs and he says, "Yes, endless bloodshed and war caused by mortal kind, time and time again. It grows quite tiring to the point to where not many would even lift a finger to try and save you.
Well,
there's still some good amongst you, though." He then looks over at Tate.
Well, he said there's some good.
There's still some good left amongst you, he says before looking over at you.
So is that like shade at me, or?
He's basically pointing out that you're one of the few good people left in his eyes.
Oh, I was about to say, like, bro, I ain't do nothing.
Well, yeah, Terrence as well, actually.
Yes, and
Terrence
Terrence.
is like.
alright, I've been marked as evil by the Light Brother. Good to know.
Terrence, Tate, and you'd probably guess Whitney as well.
Yeah, my girl Whitney.
He then Dion, as you kind of wonder if he doesn't mean you too, he looks at you, Dion, and says, and he shakes his head as he simply says, "Oh no. What you've gotten into, I couldn't even begin to describe."
Ooh.
But it matters little to me. After all,
The prosperity of all should affect everyone, my friend. And as someone with children in this world, I'm sure you can appreciate someone's efforts to better the lot of all sapients within this realm.
he kind of rolls his eyes for a moment. "They're not my literal children. All my children are far from here."
Ah. Well, regardless, if your children exist in this world, then you should do your best to make it the best place possible so that they may grow to enjoy their lives to the maximum.
"Why?" he growled for a moment as it suddenly goes very hot in here. I gave you saviors. I gave you hope." He takes a step forward as the snow around him starts to melt. "I gave you a chance to turn away from this path, and every time you've spat in my face." The dragons who would terrorize the lower beings for nothing but simple bloodthirsty. The elves who would genocide an entire race simply because they didn't help them in a war. And don't even get me started on the countless atrocities that the half breeds have caused over the years, whether against people not like them or people who have a slight difference. All of your hands are bloody at this moment.
While
Any
that
way
may be
we
the
can
case,
redeem
all we can do is our
ourselves?
best going forward.
No.
In your eyes? No? Alright.
You will freeze. Hell will freeze. Heaven will burn. And that will be the fate left to you all. Whether you live through it, that'll be up to the gods you cry mercy to at night. At this point, all I care for is the preservation of my people. And I'm glad to see none of you have trifled in the affairs of the crystals down in Yggdrasil.
Thanks, man.
Oh, I
That's good
prefer
to
the
know.
tunnels are not used for any means.
And we were, sorry.
No, what were you gonna say, Perry?
We were simply asked to keep him safe and away from other prying eyes. No more, no less.
Yes. At the very least, you're good for that. Making sure that they aren't awakened too soon.
Well, I'll take what I can get.
And at which point in time will they need to be awakened? I imagine by your choice.
No. Not by my choice and not by anyone else's. Though I have a feeling that if the endless night comes and you all fall, this will be our home once again. Whether or not you win or not, I stand on the sideline.
Well, if you do, then please allow us to aid you in bettering this world for those that are yet to come.
Ethan simply sighs. Before you notice that a light glow seems to return to the three eighth plane touched, and the first light brother seems to lay them back down as he stands, and he kind of like walks over and merges into the second one. My time here is done. I've said what I need to say, and I've met several unique faces in the course of history.
Who were those faces, if I may ask?
You'll find out soon enough. And I get to know that the two living Eternals in town are still safe. Before he turns on a heel and starts walking away.
Is there any way in which we can ensure the betterment of our realm for those that may come in the future based on your perspective, good sir?
He then looks back at you. No. And then he simply disappears.
Man, Nancy
Denied.
negative over there.
Denied.
And all three, and the two Aesmer and the Tiefling all wake up at once with a gasp.
Hey.
Are you guys alright?
Oh, my head. The Tiefling seems to say as he stands up. The Aesmer, the light cleric Aesmer seems to stand with no issue, while Pino seems to be having trouble standing up, but is eventually able to get up. And the pain in your guys' head slowly subsides as well, from the memory lashing he gave you.
I will ask all of the Aesmer if they need any medical assistance, or if they're alright.
I'll be fine. But what are you all... I assume that you've met our master. She kind of like rubs her
Yes,
head.
a wonderful fellow.
Hold your tongue, the other Aesmer says with a growl.
Oop.
You're lucky he cares enough about this world.
Why has he given up on mortals' abilities to ensure the betterment of their society over time? Is there something that we should incorporate into our actions to ensure a better likelihood of success based on your unique perspectives, my friends?
I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact that everyone's fighting and killing each other over parcels of land or ideologies and the like. Ah, my head.
Conflict is a shame. That is the truth. A wasteful endeavor. Many do not realize that we would be better served by the efficiency of serving as a collective, but we can only make that known by the best abilities of our chances.
At this point,
Unfortunately, it's not an instantaneous process, as I'm sure you're aware.
At this point, one of the tiefling kind of like whips his, okay, I've heard enough of the rambling on speech. I heard it enough from him in my head. I'm going for a drink. The tiefling proceeds to walk away. Oh, my head. And then the two Acemen watch him leave, and then one of them says, well, he's given up on everyone, gods and men alike. I don't think there's much that could change his mind at this point. I'm sure you all are good people, but he simply doesn't care anymore. He's made it.
Yeah, he's made that clear.
He's made his peace with you all going extinct.
He's just gone apathetic.
And yet he still finds at least some of us redeemable.
Right now. Right now, at least.
Well, there's hope for that at the very least. Though I'm kind of curious what he meant by the two living Eternals.
I think I may have an...
One of the Acemen looks at you. What do you think it is? Asking Searson. Pino, the Acemen asks Searson, who do you think it is?
I'd have a feeling it would be Lyran students.
Nerul and Thrin.
Ooh.
But that doesn't make any sense. They're elves. At least they look like elves.
I have my reasons for my suspicions.
Whatever the case, I'm going to go back to praying by the statue of the Maiden Mother to see if I can relax for the time being. Espino leaves, leaving only... I swear to God, I'm pretty sure her name is like... I know such with an... Whatever. Leaving only the light cleric left.
Like he's still there?
She's still there. She simply looks at you all and says, she was the one that proclaimed herself a cleric of the Light Brother, so you know that she draws her power from him.
Oh, okay.
To be quite honest, I fully expected this. After having an angel that works for him sort of tells me things. I knew he never really liked this world to begin with. He merely does it out of a sense of duty, I suppose.
Responsibility?
Maybe. He did help create this world.
We are all honor-bound.
He helped create this world
to aid
after
one
all.
another whenever possible.
Alright.
He
It
made
is simply our choice whether or not we fulfill this honorary obligation.
Yeah, but what is honor in the end when the people that you fight for don't really deserve it?
It's not about what they deserve, it's about what they need.
Well, what they need is a wake-up call before... Though I suppose the long night will be that. A very, very harsh wake-up call, but one nonetheless.
While that may be true, we should do what we can to enhance everyone's ability to prosper regardless of the circumstance. But I respect your wisdom on the matter.
My place here is mainly to serve as a guiding light and to burn away the enemies of the Light Brother, which currently has shown to be Galen's forces. So, there is that. But other than that, I couldn't care less about what happens to the rest of the world. You all, on the other hand, you all have proven yourselves to be quite formidable.
We are simply extensions of the greater good, but we appreciate your compliments.
Anyway.
So you see us as like world-saving material one way or another?
Oh, not even close.
Well, not in that extent, but at least notable in terms of something similar to that, or
yes.
just you see us as notable.
Notable. There's not many people that I could say that about. Whether or not you continue to be that way, well, that's up to you. And then she simply fixes her staff before she says, "All I'm here to, as I said, all I'm here to do is to burn away our enemies. That's all I care for, and then I will return to my master to help him in his goal. You all have.
Well, good luck with that.
You all have sparked enough of an interest in him for him to show up, which is something. I'm glad that none of you tried to fight him, or else, well, I'm sure that one of you would at least be chewing on your tongue right now."
Yeah, I don't want to be turned into blood mist before I even reach for my weapon, which would be a stupid move in the first place.
My close call for the week.
I think we all have.
I'm sure. After all, I'm sure creations of his creation are still seen as protectable in his eyes. After all, you do have him to thank for existing. She says as she walks towards you all and starts to walk through you.
Autumn will speak up. Well, first, actually, your thought, the whole world-saving material thing. Will we at least be a brick in the foundation, so to speak? What's to come in the future?
If you play your cards right, you'll provide order. Though, how long you keep it, well, I have no idea.
Law is only important as if it could serve the greater good. So we must strive to ensure that becomes a part of the new order.
As many tyrants have said, she says with a smirk.
And
I'm sure they have.
Real briefly, when you got any plans this evening?
I'd rather not. After the current experience I've had, I'll be out. I'll be doing my own things for quite some time. I doubt I'll be able to help you with whatever you seek assistance in. Don't worry, I'll be ready for the next conflict should it come.
Chance, we would appreciate your assistance.
Not really a question of the conflict, but just want to ask him a few questions. And want to make sure you're not still smoked from making a gesture to the imprint in the snow, the 3 imprints in the snow.
Never, he'd never hurt me. She says with a smile on her face.
I just more processing whatever he said.
Many victims have.
Yeah, that makes one of us.
What was that, Dion?
That's what many victims have said.
The difference being, though, is that he's not man. He's not God, and poet as they both are. He is. She has a big smile on her face, much greater than that.
Well, let us hope that to be the case so that he may aid us in ensuring this world is better than we found it when we leave it.
And she simply bows and says, "Have a nice day." She then proceeds to walk away.
You as well.
And that's when you know that that's when you know is that the sun that the snow has finally stopped, and the clouds part for a fully bright day. As you are all left in this clearing with only your thoughts as to what just happened.
Well, that was an event to be sure.
Yeah, that was something.
That it was, my friend. That it was. I hope that they come to see the logic in aiding those that they do not see as a part of their own organization when the time comes, but only time will tell if that seems to be the case. We should do our best to ensure that they are incentivized to aid the people of this realm as much as possible via our own representation of its merit.
Well, I wouldn't put too many eggs in that basket.
Fair enough, but all we can do is our best, right?
Hmm. Guess we'll
Oh.
see what happens.
Alden looks between Calvin and Dion. Really, both of you should get together and write like a book of inspirational quotes when it's all said and done.
When the time comes, I would be happy to do so, but as of now, I'm afraid more pressing concerns seem to face us on all sides.
Terrence!
I will certainly take you up on your offer when
Norm?
the realm is safe.
Yes, I'm here.
and the people
Can you
are-
feel it? Something just changed. I believe that's
What are your thoughts
this
on
is
this
what the
whole thing?
world is like when it pisses itself.
Oh, wait, I'm a bit sleepy. Are we talking about like the SMR guys?
No, the big white guy.
The big white guy.
He was dark skinned, I'd like to add.
Oh,
Okay.
he's still got a lot of white
Called
stuff.
the White Death then.
Oh no, we're talking about the Light Brother in particular, since he just.
Oh yeah, the ASMR guys.
Oh, is that what he is? The asymmetric guy? Oh, is that what he is?
God.
You good?
I don't know what to say.
Don't know what to say. Well, he thought of you as a cool guy.
I feel kind of weird that he knows about me, honestly.
Well, he knows about all of us, to be fair.
Yeah.
He does seem to have.
Well, knowing a lot about someone means nothing if you can't apply it.
I would agree with that
He
statement.
did sound like he can apply it.
Intelligence is only useful if it can be applied in circumstances in which it can be used to aid others. I have some ability to do so.
For example, I know a lot about. What do I know a lot about? Explosives. But I apply it. Therefore, I am good at explosions.
Fair enough.
Okay, let's go with that.
You know what I am not good at, but still know a lot about?
No.
Women?
Women.
Oh,
By the way.
Yes, women. That works too.
So for some
Right.
reason, you hear coming from the Force. For some reason, I highly doubt that.
You talking to me?
And as you look back, you see that it's Alar / Larian, who seems to be leaning against a tree.
What a timely arrival.
Oh, I was here the whole time. I was trailing you while you were all looking for them.
All right, let me rephrase. A timely entrance. There.
Yes. Sorry, Sorry, when the Light Brother showed up, I knew that he had something prophetic to say.
His circumstances have certainly made him have less than an ideal outlook on life, but we do our best to ensure to change that.
Well, he did trust me to change that before, and I failed miserably. So.
Well, I'm sure you did what you could in the circumstances. Failure is but an opportunity for learning and redemption, my friend.
I wouldn't know that. I wouldn't say that for sure, but I'll take your word for it.
A mistake is only a mistake if you allow to waste your opportunity, but use it as one, and it is such an opportunity. Those setbacks certainly are painful, as I'm aware.
Regardless, did he have anything of note to say besides the? I assume that you all. Did he have anything to say that I didn't happen to catch besides the whole mortal kind has failed him, they'll all die to an endless cold night, this whole spiel he gave me?
Ah, yes, there are two Eternals here.
He doesn't seem surprised by that.
Thanks, Ragus.
You have to know who it is?
Susan. You went robotic for me, sorry. He looks.
Do you happen to know who it is?
Oh my. Okay, I just want to say this real quick. Like, I just heard Car's voice when he's speaking right next to me, like a few minutes earlier, saying that line.
I said that a few minutes later. Earlier? Dang. That's wild. How can we be in two different spots of the room but have increasingly huge lag times? Oh, this is cursed.
How does that work?
Well, he's spot on.
And he simply says, "I have an idea."
You have an idea?
Go on.
I have an idea of who they could be. It's not my place to say.
Oh.
All right.
Especially since...
Do they know that they're living Eternals?
One of them does. He did lie to you about who he really was.
Okay, so we met him before. Good to know. That narrows it down.
Does anyone else have any ideas as to who they are?
I mean, seriously, they come up with a theory.
I think I actually have an idea on who one of them might be, but I haven't met him, so I can't say.
Eternal types. Course of action to set up a list of parameters that we know a being such as this would have to help narrow down the list.
I think it's the two people who start with T in this party. Tate and Terrence.
Hell no.
So you think he just likes teas?
I don't know. His name starts with T. The.
I'm not sure that would be the most accurate way of doing it.
Well,
that's not how it works, right?
Well, the light brother.
Forward, then it is the only thing that we can do.
Well, the light brother and the dark brother do have a real name.
Do they start with T?
No.
Oh.
Thank
there goes
God.
that theory.
Thank God. No.
They go by the name. Their names are Anu and Eno, respectively.
Ooh, respectively.
Anu, the one who ends all. Eno, the one who begins all.
Ooh.
Let us hope
Well, the one who begins all is pretty close on verging on ending all.
Well, he had the highest hopes for you all, and seeing mortal kind fail over and over again, that would paint anyone's perspective negatively.
Well, I'm sorry for being born.
I'm sorry. No.
All we can do is try and change his mind.
No.
We cannot change the past, but we can forge the future.
But to be quite honest, you've met both of them, and you've met both of them in a single month. That's a rather rare instance. And funnily enough, not on full moons either. Or new moons, anyway.
Oh shit! Who?
They mainly appeared during the full and new moons. The fact that they made themselves appear out of their own volition says something.
Hopefully it says that they are hopeful for the improvement of the actual races, but tell us what they really think.
Wait, so they never appear when there isn't a moon? You said?
No, the Dark Brother appears with every new moon. The dark sides of the moons turn purple. He appears randomly. Light Brother appears on full moons, but he appears during the day. Sun shines bright. You think it?
Gotcha.
They each have a connection to.
Has he ever appeared when that's not the case?
Yes, that he has, but he has a 0% chance of appearing if there are two new moons. Vice versa for the Dark Brother. He can't appear when there are full moons. 2 full moons.
Wait, and what's strange about this one again?
The fact that he appeared when there's not a full moon, when there's not 2 full moons, or a single full moon going on at night.
So does that mean that
two
they put
full
an extra effort to manifest? Is that correct?
There are 2 moons in Acquia, just for reference.
Right. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why when there's like 2 new moons or 2 full moons, everyone's like, oh! But yes, it takes some extra effort, and he only does that if he chooses to, which if you had to guess had to do with his 3 proxies.
Yeah.
Right.
But
what if we destroy the
he
moons?
Doesn't want to get involved with the mortals. Why would he choose to come here?
That would probably be an unwise decision from my perspective. If it can be justified, then...
Well, the Aasimar, in a way, are his grandchildren, and the Tieflings are the grandchildren of his brother.
Okay.
That would be the case, then I think he would be more inclined to ensure that their time upon this realm would be more pleasant. But perhaps he simply sees this material universe as a prison for them instead of a place of prosperity, unfortunately.
I think it's more that he's preventing all of them from being born at this point. He only sends out certain ones, which is why the appearance of Aasimar has been dwindling so much.
Ooh.
He's telling his Aasimar and angel offspring to basically not deal with the world of mortal kind. He's leaving you to your own devices to either die or persevere.
How kind of him.
Would you blame him?
I mean, doesn't change the situation that I'm in. We're in.
Yes, but if you were in his exact perspective, where you send savior after savior to help the people, and instead they turn themselves toward darkness instead, he folds his arm. Would you not finally just seek to leave them to kill themselves?
No, because it is your duty as one that is able to provide assistance to do so. But that is my own personal philosophy.
You see that?
Understand other people like the same lens.
You see that Dion. You notice that Ayla kind of gets annoyed by that as you note as his marks start to glow a bit. He says, "Ah, yes, a duty to protect them." That doesn't sound familiar at all.
So, if I may inquire, or just refresh our minds, the goblins are attacking this area because their gods asked them to?
Yes, they're afraid.
Ah, yes, their gods requested them to do it.
And they obeyed.
Yeah. What else would you do when your god requests you do something?
Say no.
And what would happen then?
Right.
Your god leaves you. Or Or
It's that simple. They just leave you. They don't just kill you,
you assume
depending on your god.
If they were evil enough, yes, but you assume that they would think enough about it. After all, haven't clerics been stripped of their powers and left alone to die without any god to save them?
In that circumstance, to be sure. Any sapient being is the true shame. But sometimes for the greater good of the many, the few must perish.
Illran sighs. We're arguing semantics at this point. The Light Brother has decided that the fate of our realm is going to be left in our hands. The Dark Brother, well, I'm sure he'd love to help us, since he seems to care still somewhat, despite the fact that we keep trying to kill him. But I doubt what he'll offer.
I find that ironic.
I don't.
Well, I meant like in terms of original, I guess, roles, if you could call it. But alas,
I'm sure that.
Yeah.
I'm sure that you will forget this instance at some point, as he rarely appears as is, and you have far more pressing matters to get to. Which
you could say that again.
Which partially brings up why I'm here.
Go on.
Yesterday, I just wanted to let you all know this, since today will begin your foray back into the world of Leowin as a whole, but at least several of the top mercenaries have been sent out on an assignment that I made for them.
Alrighty.
I've heard about them being equipped and being sent out. Care to say what their missions are?
Well, I suppose it's time that we take the fight to Gawain to Leowin. God! There! Thank you. I keep thinking Leowin. I messed that up out of character.
Yeah. Well, if he botched it in character, Aldwin will lean over and slap his shoulder. Merrick. Merrick. Let's spell it. Let's say it. Merrick.
Let's say it together, everyone.
They'll be out on an assignment. They'll be out on an assignment to cause some issues preparing for our eventual march there, because I assume that's what we'll be doing. Since I've also received word that Baron Girth has won against Illran, which means he's in prime position to sail down the river and attack Merrick as well once midwinter hits.
Well, maybe I could coordinate something.
Yes, it'd be best to begin preparations for that. But on top of that, I suppose that something else that I wish to discuss, just to make sure and make it clear.
And that is
the plan that I had to use the crystals against Merrick. I question the ability for it to actually go well.
Okay.
Which is why I have a second proposition that might work better in the long run.
Long run, all right.
And that is?
I hate that I'm suggesting this, but if Merrick is a master of dunamancy, particularly gravity dunamancy, then there's only one thing that can counter him in that response.
Other dunamancy.
Particularly time. And there's only one holder of time dunamancy in the entire continent.
And I wonder who it is.
What I'm suggesting is that I forgo the chains that I've left myself to, and instead try to match Merrick power for power.
I've heard a similar use of that phrase today.
Only to match him?
Most likely, if I extend myself too far, then... Well, if I extend myself too far, then I'm not sure what would happen. Besides, he's still my student after all. I had left it most likely leaves for me to help you all deal with him. It's a suggestion, of course, but if we do go through with that, then things will change for me, as it were.
As I can probably already imagine a few of those changes. Any specific ones that we should be worried about?
Well, depending on how Leo reacts, I might end up dead in the next few weeks. Oh, there's that.
But I thought you can't be killed.
If I lose the marks, my immortality goes with it. I use my
Good to
magic, I
know.
open myself up to die.
Nothing a clone or two can't solve.
Bruh.
You sound just like the mages now.
Bruh.
He gives a very deadpan look as he hears that.
Twas a jest.
Briefly.
I recommend not holding life to be I recommend not having life be held. Ah, God. Okay, trying to phrase this right. I recommend not losing what significance life has by joking about it.
Oh, if I was there, I'd punch that bitch.
Who?
No. Gabe, I'm talking shit.
Thank you, Car. Thank you.
I think I get counter offer here for your protection.
What? You good?
How well can you prepare some scrolls?
Not at all. With this on me. Literally, magic has been shut out of my body.
But if you don't, what if you were to, take off the lock, but not actually cast the magic? What then?
He raises an eyebrow as he folds his arms. So basically what you're asking for is me to go... What you're asking is that I take off the chains anyway, just to write down scrolls for you to use, instead of, I don't know, dealing with the situation myself, to make it easier for you.
I glanced at Aldwin.
It's either hold as close to the agreement, as close to the ideals of what has been set out, and at least give potentially those those who could potentially use its power for this fight, or throw you straight into the steam-powered wood chipper and pray to God that you come out. Pray to all the deities above us, and including the Light Brother himself, as Aldo makes a slight gesture up, or motions his arms up, and pray that certain individuals who apparently have a yandere attitude towards you don't shoot you down like a dog.
And then
Which do you prefer?
And then he looks over at Tates and he says, and he asks, since you're the one with the least affection slash apathy, well, I suppose the one with the most extreme apathy towards me, would you care whether I lived or died?
I don't want you to die, but would anything happen if you do die?
I'd be gone. That's about it.
Well, I mean, there you go. You be gone. Nothing else will happen.
Damn.
kind of depressing, not gonna lie.
You see that Alog kind of smiles at that. Well, at least I have someone that's honest. Regardless, when we face them on the fateful fields of Unegula, we'll see what fate has in store for us. Whether I die or not, matters little, I suppose. What matters is that Merrick is dealt with. And I suppose that's my final thing to ask. Do any of you have a plan for how to deal with Merrick? Or ideas? Because we've talked about 3 of them, and I'm curious whether any of you favor any of them. Because we're soon approaching the end game. It'll be checkmate for one of us. Considering two of yours chess skills, I'd like to make sure that checkmate isn't us. He kind of glances up between Kaladin and Aldwin as he says that.
Called y'all out.
You have been called out.
I feel personally attacked.
Two of you couldn't even beat him. And you were teaming up against him in chess.
Alden looks at Calvin. This is the last time we use your house rules for a game.
No promises, but I'll take that into consideration.
Alden looks at Calvin. Which one of us went to the afterlife and came back?
Are we pulling that sort of experience card now?
No. Well, yes. But more than likely, I met the person who made chess, and they probably bitch slapped me. So there's that.
I can imagine that happening, yes.
Alar kind of just sighs before he looks at Ragus, Terrence, and Tate. Okay, do you all remember the plans that we discussed before, or would you like a quick reminder?
We had a plan? Discuss that.
The ideas for the plans.
Heck no. Hope we don't die. That should be good enough.
Well,
dealing with the goblins.
Yes, the 3 ideas were: 1, we pull them into Solarinet and use a fire attack to devastate them. 2, we attack them head-on alone to try and deal with them ourselves, and we have an increasing number of forces to do that. Or 3, we ally with Baron Girth to match them and launch a pincer attack and basically fight them along with an ally.
Well, wait, did we settle on a solution?
I imagine we're gonna.
Okay,
so are we coordinating in any way with the other guy who won his siege?
Well, so far you've only found out a messenger hasn't come back yet from him. You just know that he won his battle. That's why he's basically, Alar wants to get this done now because he realizes that you're closely getting two-facing against Merrick, because you guys have, like, to be clear, 6,000 troops in your town alone.
Wait, how many troops does Merrick have?
10,000.
And how many troops does the other guy have?
Yeah, you'd have to guess at least 4,000.
Okay, so if we
4,000?
and
hold on,
okay,
Lauren, what was that?
Who has at least 4,000?
Girth, Baron Girth, your potential ally.
Wait, was that like the guy we went to talk to or not?
No. Count Aeneas, hey Roxy, Count Aeneas simply decided that he gave you the mercenaries that make up your 6,000, but he wouldn't do more than that. Basically, he's waiting to see if you live through this or not. He gave you the mercenary. He gave you the mercenaries and the mages and the smiths. So he's done what he can.
Oh, hi Roxy.
They met the Light Brother.
Okay. I mean, for one, trying
what
to
do you mean
get
too late,
an
Car?
alley.
Anyway, what were we gonna say?
Trying to get an alley would probably be our best bet.
So pincer
Yeah, I was
attack.
thinking.
But after,
Yeah, I was thinking.
after
Yeah,
that,
coordinating and
after that
like
one, we
flanking them with the
owe
other
him or
forces.
something.
Is you Norm?
After that, won't we owe him or something?
Well,
There would be something to keep in mind.
well. Here, Elo kind of thinks about it. There's something. Kind of thinks about it. He's already taken one of the countries that Hanak is at war with, and he's conquered them. So he's already got a large chunk of land and their capital city. I doubt that he'd care much if we simply take Unegula off his hands after the fight, though there's also the matter of the Baron that owned Unegula before it was taken by the hobgoblins. Oh, shit.
Wait, and who's that Baron?
Baron Giro. He's quite up in arms about it, from what I remember.
And where is he right now? If his home city is captured.
Wait, what the hell?
It's not his home, but he's probably back in the capital of the region preparing troops of his own. I wouldn't recommend him helping us, though, if you want to keep Unegula for yourselves.
Oh, great! Which means if we get it, we're gonna have this guy coming to our gates.
Yeah. Well, I suppose at the current moment.
Well, I don't know anything, but I would still say that getting the alley would be best.
Would you agree with that, Tate?
Just by the numbers.
With what?
Getting an ally to help us, so that way our numbers match Merrick's.
That makes sense.
All right. Well. And then you hear the sound of a sound in the distance, and you all look up and you see something flying through the air. And it takes a deep moment for your eyes to adjust, but you realize that it's a Pegasus Knight, a messenger Pegasus Knight. Who's flying in the direction of Leowin.
Oh shit.
I think that might be our answer. I'm going to go deal with that. You all, please relax please relax for your final day of rest. I have a feeling that after this, we're going to be quite busy for a while. He says before he leaves. And once again, Alar leaves, leaving just you 7. Well, 6, rather.
Kicks up and out to everyone. Hello.
Yes, would you like to kick out?
Since Alar said that, basically under direct orders, have fun or relax. Mandated relaxation is in order for the rest of the day. Tomorrow morning, all of us meet up at Tate and Whitney's bakery.
Yes.
Buy a platter, probably a platter of an assortment of your baked goods as he looks at Tate. And discuss plans, battle plans, whatever we need to do. Hit the ground running, basically. Or rather, would you be okay with that, Tate?
Well, it's Whitney's bakery, but that seems fine.
Totally acceptable.
Nah, don't worry. If there's a ruckus that's been called, I'll I'll personally pay double or triple the rate for your baked goods.
That seems like a plan.
You should have just kept it a double. Should have just kept it a double.
Oh no, the triple or the quadruple options are for in the event that the bakery somehow burns down because of this meeting.
Jesus Christ, which seems very likely with you all.
What?
I am ready to pal around with mes amis.
But with that, do you guys decide to head back into town?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Right. For the people that the Light Brother said still had good left in them, you see an after image of him for a moment. Well, you see a memory flash for a moment. And you see a figure in a white cloak and a figure in a black cloak. They look to be about children's sized. They're both kind of just leaning against they're both kind of just sitting on top of a grassy hill overlooking what appears to be an ocean. And they're just sitting there before the memory's gone.
Hmm.
You don't know why, but you get this warm feeling in your chest. It's a happy memory, you think, as you head back to town.
This weird feeling, I can't explain it. It's happiness.
Wow, that didn't sound
Happiness?
edgy at all.
Bruh.
I've never heard this.
But, Dane, when you guys still want to do your thing, just to be clear?
What's that?
Oh, our almost thing?
Almost what?
Oh, we
we
were
were
still.
gonna do last time? Possibly?
Do you have anything else planned?
Well, I was going to lead directly into that by having it to where Whitney was back at the bakery still, and basically lead into Tate showing up.
Oh, okay.
By the
That's
way,
fine.
guys, I think I'm gonna be going.
Oh, you're going to head out, Terrence? Norm? Yeah.
Yes.
Alright.
All right. How about you and I go and make some stuff at the alchemist shop then? If you leave it,
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
we'll
they
be
can do
some
that first.
bros. We'll also bring in our
Just-
third guest there too.
Just guys being dudes.
Guys being pals.
Yeah,
Just to be-
just guys being dudes.
Two guys
Making
relaxing in the
some
alchemist shop, 5
explosions.
feet away from each other because they ain't.
That's right.
Because social.
I'm sorry, Norm. I've got the no
Gay.
homo shirt on.
Just to be clear, it will be Terrence, Ragus, and your new worker, Grimbosh, to join you. As the bugbear is finally healed up enough from his injuries to start helping in your alchemist shop.
Oh, look at that! Your first employee.
Wait, who's Greenbush again?
The bugbear that you convinced to join you.
Yeah.
Oh my
Baby.
god, he's gonna be. Oh shit. It's kind of cute, not gonna lie.
God.
That's hot. I don't care who you are. That's hot.
That's so hot.
Oh my goodness. Alright.
Wait, who is this?
Grimbosh was the bugbear that you convinced to join you after he smashed a goblin into pieces.
Oh, dang.
Thanks to
And
Terrence's
now-
persuasion skill. Now he's going to work under Terrence at his alchemist shop.
And now I have this idea in my brain of a rabbit and a bugbear together, and I don't know how to.
Oh, this little tiny rabbit, and then this huge ass bugbear.
He helps him get stuff off of shelves.
Differences!
What?
He helps him
Height
get stuff.
differences.
He helps him get stuff off of shelves.
Yes.
Oh.
Height differences.
See, Ragus, now you're not the only one who has to carry shit around.
God. Anyway, but that's
You have a wonderful evening, Senor Norm. I hope you
Actually, wouldn't it
enjoy
be
your
morning?
First employee.
Yeah, it's like
yes,
morning.
it's morning.
Car, don't choke. What the fuck?
Wow, car.
anyway.
Catch you later, Norm. 'Twas fun.
You know me?
Can we get some Pat Terrences in the chat?
Yes.
Pat Terrence.
Pat.
Y'all need to speed up on your Terrence gain, I swear.
Hey, I have I have a bottle in one hand.
Okay, alcoholic.
Hydro flask.
Shit, Perry one-upped us.
Dang. All right.
Damn.
Good night, Norm.
But
I mean,
Good night, Norm.
I love you, Normie.
love you. See ya.
I hate you, Perry. Anyway, okay. Switching over. So, Perry,
Patterns.
Sorry.
So switching over to Whitney, after the resurrection of Ellison, since this is the 5th day, 15th of Elso, you went back to your shop to work. And you noticed that it got very bright outside to the point where the snow melted at least 2 feet.
Oh.
2 feet, damn.
Oh, it's nice that the snow melted, but it looks a little icky when it gets all damp on the ground.
Yeah, you can say that.
It gets all muddy, and then the brown mixes with the snow, and it just looks like nasty.
And as you're waiting for Tate to come back, Whitney,
Yes?
you see this firebrand. You see this large white draconic figure kind of like walking around outside. He kind of like looks at the place before he shrugs and walks in.
Bonjour, mister.
He kind of like freezes on the spot when he sees you. He kind of like just stares at you and has like for a moment.
I tilt my head in a cutesy way.
He then shakes his head. Hello.
How are you? Are you looking for something?
I was looking for Ember, but I don't see him around here.
Who? Oh wait, do I know this person?
He goes by the name Tate, but I call him Ember.
Why are you looking for Tate?
I was hoping to get his training started, but see, that's not going to be the case.
Training for what?
Ethan looks at you for a moment. He says, "Wait a minute. You know Tate, correct?"
Yes, he's my partner.
Ah, you're the one. Okay then. You see the sad look, come across his face from him before he kind of like quickly goes away.
I don't understand.
Don't worry about it. It's something between me and him.
Well, if anything happens to him, I have powers that burn things.
I doubt that you'll need protect. I doubt that you'll be worried. Well, you have good reason to be worried about what happens to him, but more because, well, I'll leave that alone. Anyway, just let him know I was by. So he sighs.
Your name again?
Takeshi Shimo.
Okay.
He then starts to walk back towards the door, and then he pauses and looks back, and she says, "Unlucky kid," and then he walks out. And a few minutes later...
I was just gonna say, she grabs her tail and is patting it.
And then after a few minutes after that, Tate comes in.
Hey, hello.
Who is Takeshi?
Oh, he's this he's a this, what was it again? Firebrand? He's a firebrand, right?
Yep, firebrand.
Yeah, he's this firebrand that I met when I was at the Flame Guard base with my sister. It's kind of weird.
He said he's oh, fuck. Oh, the music. Oh, shit. Hold on, look. Oh, this sounds sad.
Right, why does this sound sad?
It's not supposed to be sad. It's the thing with the bakery. It gets happier, don't worry.
Okay, alright. Anyway, she's kind of or she's like, you said you going to train with him.
Oh, yeah, I have some stuff I need to work out. It's okay, don't worry about it.
If I don't have to worry, can you tell me what it is?
Well, you might look at me differently if I tell you.
There's nothing you could do that can make me look at you differently.
You say that now.
Yeah, I mean, you have always been very pretty to me.
Pretty.
Oh yeah, your hair, your horns, your hands. And she like walks up to you and takes your hands in her paws. They are rough but beautiful.
He's kind of like stunned for a minute, and kind of blushes a little bit. He's like, thanks.
I'm sorry, I get carried away. I just want you to know that there's not much you could really do that would make me judge you.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Alright, well, remember back at the other place where I kind of went out of control?
Yeah?
Yeah, Takeshi's gonna help me with that. So he says he will.
That's a good thing then.
Yeah, I guess so, but I hate that I have this. I don't want to hurt you at all.
You don't have to be afraid of that. I'll protect you.
Well, I'll protect you too.
Perry. Hold on. And you know... shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. Give me a second. Okay. What was I gonna say? Shit! Hold up.
God damn it.
Fuck. This is stuttering the scene. This is ruining the moment.
No, you're good.
Not yet! Slow burn! Fuck. Once your training is over and you feel like you're safest and there's more things we can do together.
Like what?
I don't know. Like, she kind of, tries to, like, get up on her tippy toes. What people do when they feel feelings about each other.
He kind of like pauses for a second and then is like, oh, wait, wait, really?
Yeah. Do you feel the same?
Yes, ever since I've started working with you, of course.
I am relieved.
I didn't think you felt the same way, though.
It is hard for me to express sometimes. I get subconscious of how open I can be. And then I keep it to myself. But I open up more when I'm around you. And then I find that it's because I feel like I can do anything with you. From bakery to fighting great evils. Can I give you something?
Yeah. What is it?
Do you stop being so tall for a second?
All right. And he like kind of like bends down a bit. There we go. We're close to the same height.
And she like kind of holds his cheek, rubs it with her thumb, and brushes her lips against his, just briefly. Vous êtes mignon, tête.
He's kind of like speechless.
And she kind of like gets off her tippy toes and like giggles. Forgive me.
No, do that more often.
You sure?
Yes, please. Do that.
Okay. And then I keep going. And she keeps going.
Ooh, so cute.
Yeah. And I don't know what else to do, so I'm gonna say that they just keep kissing and then it ends.
As this wonderfully sweet moment keeps happening, as you guys are literally killing me.
I'm sorry!
You are killing me. Jesus. I'm gonna
Bring on the charm if someone fucking tied with me, you know that?
I'm going. You feel the dragon charm, the magical charm that you two have had since you two dealt at Illran, glows from this romantic moment. And to pan away, out of character, so that way you guys all know this out of character. On top of the bakery sits a lone white firebrand. Who kind of just looks up at the sun and he just sighs and he says, and he looks down at this broken amulet that he has in his hand and he simply says, Unifier, give me the strength to help him so he doesn't end up like me. And then that's where we're going to end the session.
Ah! It was so good.